Beth, I see you, Tanya. Marlene, how you doing today? What happened to your wrist? You got something going on with your wrist, Marlene? Hey, everybody. Alexis, what's going on without the colorful background? It's hard to even recognize you. Good to see you, Mark Bray. I see you, James Burrow. What's going on, James? Always good to have you here. Hey, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this month's Inner Circle. Now, first off, there's a lot I want to share today. So many people, raise your hand if you're new to our family, right? Awesome, great to have you here. I know the last month has been crazy with lots of emails, things going on, you made decisions. I'd say we all take a deep breath. And here's the cool part. Now we create a cadence. Now we create a process. We create a flow. We take a step back so we can take 3 steps forward. Here's the cool part. So I want to tell you a little bit about Inner Circle. I've been doing a monthly live Inner Circle for over a decade. Some of you have been with me. I see your faces, been with me for over a decade. And isn't it funny how things evolve? Just the Inner Circle used to be $1,000 a year. Just want to let you know, right? And since then, obviously, we made it a part of Mastermind. So today is kind of quasi a couple different things. It's a monthly Inner Circle where I teach every month on marketing or mindset, momentum, things that keep propelling you forward, right? To live into who you're meant to be. But also, this is kind of a welcome to thousands of new people to our family. So today, it's kind of a hybrid Inner Circle. It's my traditional Inner Circle. I'm going to deliver much value as humanly possible today. And simultaneously, I want to welcome all you amazing new people to this family. And it truly is a family. If you're new, put new in the chat. And if you're a part of the family, put family. And make sure you say hi to somebody new, right? And I want to pre-frame. Excuse that I have a little bit of a head cold. When you have 4 kids, look at all this family, new. When you have 4 kids, somebody's always bringing home something. Anybody remember when your kids were at home? It's like somebody's always bringing something home. So I got a little cold, but I'm totally awesome today. Excited to be here with you all. Let me tell you how I feel about the Inner Circle. Because I've been doing this for like a decade or more. And just so you know, if you're here today, and I'll share more of this later, no matter if you came as you took the VIP dollar test drive or you're a part of our Mastermind business system, wherever, if you're here today, you have access not only to these monthly live trainings, you have access to like the last 5 years. I promise you there's a library for you guys. You might not even know you have access to it, of monthly trainings that cover every topic you could possibly imagine. From anxiety to moving forward to overcoming obstacles. We have surprise guests. You know, in the last 2 years, I've had Matthew McConaughey on this Inner Circle 4 times. Oh my God, each one of them got better. We've had Marie Forleo and other amazing guests. So I just want you to know, no matter if you're here, you have access to not only the monthlies, you have access to 5 years of the past ones. And I would say sometimes when you get stuck scrolling on social media, and it's not serving you, it's not serving your bigger future. You're bored with Netflix. Who in here has ever gone on Netflix to watch something and it took you longer to find what to watch than the thing you actually watched, right? So the next time, Kara, next time you find yourself scrolling on Netflix, stop, log into Mastermind, and go find a topic on an Inner Circle that can help empower your life. I promise you, these are fun as heck. And what I always describe to people monthly on my Inner Circle, since I've been doing it so long, I feel like I'm just hanging out with you guys at a big coffee shop for an hour once a month. But what I always want to share are the things that I discover towards that month to move me forward, to take the uncomfortable action. Because let's just say it like it is. The thing that could stop you more than any other thing to go from where you are to where you want to be, to living into your full potential, is the story we tell ourselves. Is that true? Who in here has missed opportunity because of the crappy stuff that goes on in here? So Inner Circle is meant to bust that, to keep you plugged in, as Tony would say, to have consistency, right? To keep moving forward. And that's why I love it so much. The other thing, if you're here, we also launch a brand new course every single month. And everybody here has access to that. And last month's course was with Jen Drummond. A great course to check out. She's a mom, I think, of 8. Is it 7 or 8 kids she has? But she's also climbed all the peaks of all the highest mountains. She's on a mountain right now, sticking a Mastermind flag at the top of the mountain. Pretty cool. She's going to take a picture of it. But her course is so inspirational. And every month we drop one of those. And what it's meant to do is just keep you moving forward. So lots to share today. But the main thing I want to share to those that are new, and I shared a little bit of this on Monday. I got a lot to share. I go live every Monday for about 7 to 8 minutes. You guys will all get an email next Monday letting you know. If you didn't get an email last week, it's only because there was so many emails going out. I'm like, give everybody a break. But every Monday, you'll get an email right before I go live in the Facebook group. Don't think it's literally just a reminder every Monday. And for 7 minutes, I hope we kick off a Monday together. If you watch my Monday lives, put it in the chat what you think. I try to come up with an inspirational, something strong that hits hard in less than 7 minutes, so we can kick off the week together. All right, so those of you that are new to this family, I want to tell you one of the hardest things to do is the better you create something, right, the more it does, sometimes it can feel more complicated. Does that make sense? If I just said, hey, I'm going to send you a course and it's got 8 videos, watch it. And that's what all of you's first course should be, a course or 8 coaching sessions or 8 modules or an 8-hour training. But if you think over the years we've evolved, we want to make sure everybody here has every one of the resources you need, right? So we didn't just sell you 10 training videos from Tony and I. There's probably 100 you could access, right? But we wanted to create the absolute process. We wanted Gigi to help you every step of the way, even if it's on the success side or building a course. We wanted to make sure you had all the tools you need. So here's what I want to tell you. Take a deep breath on this journey, because it's new to a lot of you, and realize the resources are there. But what we got to do over the next month is be resourceful. You know, I shared that on Monday to a lot of you, is if you look at something new and you go, I don't know about that, and you go back to the old, you can guarantee where your life will go. Isn't that true? If we don't make change, we can pretty much predict where we'll go. So what I'm going to suggest is go at your own speed. Don't hesitate to reach out. If you haven't done an onboarding call, put this down, mmonboarding.com, mmonboarding.com. That's a live onboarding call with our team members. If you haven't scheduled one, you have the opportunity to do that. It's right there. You can take a picture of it or write it down. You can go on that and schedule a time that works for you, and they'll walk you through everything that's at your fingertips, the resources. But I promise you, success is not going to come find you, right? If we have all the resources and we inspire you and we push you, then you just got to find the resourcefulness to make the time, to open your mind, to try new things, to raise your hand, to ask for help. Does it make sense? Making sense? If you're not new to our family, if you're everybody who put family, you're a part of this. Were you scared at first too? Right? I just want to share that. If you're putting there, yeah, thank you, Aaron, right? I see you, Marianne. It's just natural because it's new. Sometimes we have a fear of starting small. We think it's a fear of failing. It's really just a fear of starting small. But isn't that the time when we stretch ourselves? Isn't that when we live into who we're meant to be? And again, I said this during the event, but I can predict your future because I've been doing this long enough. Those that stay plugged in, those that take the uncomfortable action, those that don't let old stories get in your way, those that persist, even if it's one little step at a time. I promise you, where we could be in 30 days, 90 days, 120 days, you'll be unrecognizable. You'll be unrecognizable to where you are today. So I just want to first off to say thank you. Thank you for having faith in us. Thank you for being a part of our event. And welcome to your first Inner Circle. And if you're part of the family, welcome back. So today, I thought I would share a 5-step commitment plan. I was trying to think of all the different things that we could be talking about today. I think with all the new stuff that came into your life, or if you're part of the family, let's reconfirm. We're about halfway through the year, right? Which is an awesome time to have a 5-step, maybe we can call it a recommitment plan, right? And that's what we're going to go through today in this month's Inner Circle. Okay, ready? Anybody, you guys ready to do a little work? And remember, this is really casual. Like I said, I feel like I'm hanging out at a big coffee shop with 5,000 amazing people, all with one thing in common. We know we're meant for more. We're not settling. We're not hoping it hits us over the head. We know we got to do the work. And I believe you are at the best time in history, in the best place, with the best opportunity. So let's get through this 5-step. Number 1 is clarity on your goal. Clarity on your goal. And not just a goal, but clarity on one goal. Now, here's how I would love to suggest. Where we can get really messed up is we should have the clarity on one big goal, right? That could be in 1 year from now, 6 months from now, 3 months from now, I want to be making X or serving X or coaching a certain amount of people. There's one goal. What's one goal? Because we're going to go broad, but then we're going to break it down. So maybe you can put in the chat, what's a big goal, Andrew or Sal or Mariah or Samara or Angel? What do you have for the next 30 days? What's a goal? Actually, let's do this. Let's start six months out. If it was 6 months from now, sorry, I do have a head cold. I'm a little off today. I'll get in the groove here. If it was 6 months from now and you had one big goal, Evelyn, what would it be? Doug Blair, what would it be? Grady, some of you just want to adapt a more of a success mindset, not a career mindset, or maybe not a limited mindset, an exponential mindset. Whatever it is, start a webinar. I love it. My goal is to launch 6 programs, make an impact, continue my digital art, hosting my 3rd webinar. I love it. Redefining my career. I love that. Jacqueline, 6 months out, 6 months, 5-step clarity, one big goal. Finish my book. Let's do it. Just set the date, right? To launch a coaching program to get my first paying client. I love that. Having a life coaching business, $10 million. Freaking love it. Finish my book. Fill in my value ladder. Look, it's so good, so good. So if we take those and keep writing them down, like a 6-month big main goal, right? Then what we have to do, and I've shared this with some of you, but I'm going to do it again. Follow me over to the whiteboard. This is something I've been doing internally. I've been sharing it everywhere because it's what I do. Quit my job. Look at all these great things. 6 new active clients. 6 months out, finishing my book. Launch my new website. Amazing, right? But I've been sharing this, and I feel the need to share it again in this clarity on one goal. I love all those one goals. And now what we really have to do is we have to break it down into micro goals, right? Because what happens when we have a big goal, I want to have 6 new clients, or I want to make 6 figures, or I want to launch my, if we don't break it down into micro goals, then we don't know our next first step. So what I've been doing with my team and internally, I've come up with this pyramid, triangle. And what I think about, and I'm going to give you the philosophy of it, because we all have a lot going on. True? Right? It's not like each of you have 5 hours a day you don't know what to do with yourself, right? So how do we get clarity? Is by saying no to the wrong things at the wrong time and going all in on the things that'll move the needle the most. So let's just say you start with your one big goal. It's your book. Let's just say, because there was several people who said your book's going to be done in 6 months, right? The next thing you talk about are what are the constraints. What are the constraints or possible problems that could stop you from achieving that, right? I always love to talk about the things that could trip you up. So if you talked about what would be the constraints of the goal that you presented. Could it be, right, the name of the book? If I'm just going to use the person who said book. Maybe I need an editor. I got to lay out the chapters. Maybe I got to find the time, right? Because here's where we get a little messed up. If you set 5 or 6 goals, I want to launch my podcast. I want to get that webinar done. I got to build the course, but I want the coaching program too. Oh, I want to get on other people's podcasts. And all of a sudden you have all these great things, and I want you to do all of them. But when you focus on all of them, say you have 4 goals at once, and if each of those 4 goals has 4 constraints, now you have 16 problems to overcome. Isn't that true? Does that make sense? So the way I look at it in business, because I have hundreds of employees, and what I try to share with my team is the culture of our company. If you start too many things at once, it's like having 5 snails going across the desert. One moves a little, one moves a little, one moves a little, right? Did you ever have too many projects going? You're like, oh God, I got to work on that potential podcast. Oh, I got to work on the course. Oh, I got to do filming. Oh my God, I got to get Instagram going. And you go over here. Anybody ever do that? Camilla, I see you shaking your head, right? You have all these things going on and you're doing like a little bit here and a little bit here and a little bit here. And like, then you feel guilty about the first thing. Oh, let me go back over here. And none of them actually get done. So what I like to say is, I want to do all of them. I see you, James, right? I want to do all of them, but I'm going to collapse them into one thing that I'm going to focus on, because then it's like a rabbit running fast. It's not the little bit here, a little bit here. So that's why I've been training my brain more than ever and trying to help the team see we're going to get it all done, but one goal at a time, overcoming the constraints of that one goal at a time. Making sense? Raise your hand if it's making sense. Right? And then if you know your big goal and you know the constraints, then you could chip away. Hey, Gigi, help me name it. Ooh, Gigi, help me, write the first chapter of the book, right? Or lay out the chapters of the book, right? You start chipping these away. And then the next part is, how will you measure progress? It's really important to measure your progress. Do you know why? Because if you're here today, you're an overachiever. You didn't just talk about it, you walk the walk. It's why I love hanging out with you. It's why I love inner circles. We're kindred spirits. I've always stepped. I've always moved forward. I've cut checks for speed. I paid for Tony Robbins' course. I gained his capabilities. I was scared to death, and I moved forward anyway. We are similar in that we haven't just talked about wanting success. You took a plan. You took uncomfortable action. That's why it's so easy to hang out, right? But I also know this about you. If you set this big goal and you don't measure your progress, if you don't hit the goal, you're like, I failed. I failed. I didn't get anything done, right? We have to measure, we have to create a cadence on how to measure that we're moving forward. Because some of the best ways to move forward is to look in the rear view mirror on the progress that you've created, right? So if I measure this progress, again, I'm using the book as an example, is the progress is I'm going to lay out the chapters. And every time I lay out a chapter, that means I'm moving forward. Once I name it, I'm moving forward. Once I understand the marketing, I'm moving forward. Right, Andrew, if you create how to measure success, measure progress, then you realize you can give yourself a little pat on the back for each piece. And that's why I'll get back to it and how we break it down, right? When what we're doing here and you being a part of Mastermind family. So how will you measure your progress? Right, Christy, you could go from, hey, I was scared to do anything except my career. But now I'm brave enough and bold enough to do my own thing. I freaking am enough. I do know enough. I'm a badass. I just need to move forward. Check, progress, Christy, progress. But sometimes we think, well, I made that decision, but I didn't make my first 100 grand yet. I'm a failure. No, it's one of those things when you stack the mini wins, all of a sudden I have goosebumps. When you stack the mini wins, all of a sudden you turn around and success is a byproduct of mini wins. Does that make sense? So how will you measure so you can go, I'm actually moving forward? I was scared to death. I was on a 3-day event with Tony Dean and all these great people. I had no clue what I was doing. But I took my first action. I've been working with Gigi. I think I have more of a success mindset than a fixed mindset. Like all of those things, if you measure, you get to go, hey, nice work. And remember, we all move at our own pace. Those of you that have been with our family, isn't it crazy sometimes you see somebody like this weekend? I don't know if you saw, there was people who literally enrolled on Friday and Sunday they had 2 sales. Did you see that? Like the chat was blowing up when people got my first sale. I don't think I could do that. I'm probably in the middle. I go all in. But we've been doing this long enough that we know we got some people that go all in, don't sleep, they get it done. Other people are a little more cautious, takes a little more time. Maybe they're 3 months, 6 months. And we have so many family members that have been with us for years. And it took them a year. And now all of a sudden they got $1 million a year business, but it took them a year to get their first one. Here's the thing, and what I'll share with you every Monday. This is not a culture of perfection, and it's not a culture of comparison. It's a culture of progress. It's a culture of progress. As long as you're moving forward, as long as you're doing a little more today, as long as you're like, that technology scares me, but I'm going to take the tutorial. I'm a little unsure of you, but I'm going to do it anyway. That's progress, and that's what feels good. Life is about progress. Everybody thinks it's good when we get to the end. No, everybody gets to the end. They want to go back. They want to be in the middle of the journey, right? If you ever read the book, there's a great book by the founder of Nike called Shoe Dog. One of my favorite books. At the end, it's like, you're the owner of Nike. It's worth billions of dollars. And he said, you have a bucket list. Did you check off everything on your bucket list? And he said, everything. He said, it's a couple things I can't check off. And one was about his son. That's a whole other thing. But the other one was, he said, I thought I was building Nike to get here. That when I got here, I'd be like, the sun opens, everything's perfect. He said, now I built Nike. I'm going to give most of it away to charity. And I think back of the days when he used to call his buddies that he did it with the buttheads. that was their, because it was probably Beavis and Butthead time for those old enough to remember that. But he called his inner circle the buttheads. He said, I remember sitting with the buttheads, and we ran out of money. The bank shut off our loans. They wouldn't import our sneakers from Japan anymore. We were totally screwed, and we were sitting around this room sick to our stomach trying to solve problems. He goes, I thought I was doing all that to get here. He said, on my bucket list, you know what I wish I could do? I wish I could go back in that room and solve that problem again. Because that's when I was alive. That's when I was being resourceful. That's when I was finding my way. And I know as hard as that seems, these parts, this little bit of hard work can result in something so amazing. And someday we'll look back and say, I took uncomfortable action. I didn't give up. I measured my progress. I overcame my constraints. I hit my goals one at a time. And I know it's, I know it's easier said than done. But that's why I love reading and watching, because you learn so much from it. And then the last piece, if you know your goal and you know the constraints that you need to overcome, you measure moving forward, then here's the big one, a deadline. We all need deadlines. Am I the only one that needs a deadline? Right? My daughter just graduated 12th grade. I see you, Mary Leo, right? My daughter just graduated 12th grade. And it was amazing. It was last weekend. It was a little emotional. Anybody who has my first one graduating high school, Lisa Randall, you know exactly what I mean? Especially because I built a montage for her. So I had to go back in my phone and look at pictures from when she was a baby. Oh, and then my team put a song to it and talk about just waterworks. Anyway, long story short, if I think about my daughter all through high school, if she had a paper due at 8 o'clock on Monday morning, and they gave it to her on Thursday, when do you think my daughter was doing the paper? Right? I'd love to say Sunday night, Teresa, but usually Monday morning she'd set her alarm at 4 o'clock and get it done, right? Because she had a deadline, right? And it's when people say entrepreneurs need a deadline, like entrepreneurs a lot of times don't get things done without a deadline, because you're like, so what I would love to tell you is everything should have a deadline. Now, you went with a big goal, a 6-month goal, right? But here's what I want to share with you I think is really important. Your 6-month goal should be broken down into micro goals, right? It should be broken down into micro goals. So I used a book as an example, but what is the goal of this week, right? What is the goal? Maybe the goal of this week is to get inside Mastermind and start working with Gigi. Again, some of you are in the Mastermind business system where you're going to be building the course. You want to do your thing. You start working. And some of you are just in Mastermind. You're going to adapt a Mastermind mindset, a success mindset. You're going to start using Gigi to shift from where you are to where you want to be. Whatever it is that you want to do, start setting micro goals. Decide what the constraints are of those micro goals. If you're like, well, I'm not quite sure how to log in and use Gigi effectively, great. Then schedule a call, mmonboarding.com, and go through and ask questions, go through live, right? Like ask and get those problems. But whatever the constraints are, this is overcoming constraints. This is really the resourceful part, right? This is being resourceful. Measure your progress on the micro goals. And what are your deadlines on the micro goals? You know, could be this week, I want to lay out my course. This week, I want to create a 30-day success plan for myself and stick to it every day. I want to create a morning routine just to start with shifting my life. Whatever it is, do you see how this can break down and not feel so overwhelming? I hope this helps. This is what sometimes I go fast because this makes so much sense to me. Raise your hand if it makes sense, right? All right, I hope so. So the first step is clarity on your goal, right? And I kind of jumped ahead. The second one is shrink the goal into daily actions. We've kind of already done that, right? What's the minimum version of this action that you could do every single day, right? I think that is a really important part is what can you do every day and how can you schedule it, right? Like you might say, hey, when people say they don't have time, it just means it's what you're choosing to spend your time on, right? When I've watched Tony do this, when people say they don't have time, Tony sometimes will go, hey, can I see your phone? And people are weird handing over their phone. Like, what do you mean? He goes, can I see your phone? And he goes, can you unlock it? Tony will put it to their face so it unlocks the screen. And he'll go, oh, you spend 6 hours a day on social media. You don't have time? He's like, it's not that you don't have time, it's prioritizing your time. So what I'd consider is prioritizing time, if it's every day, if it's every other day, if it's weekends, if you got to get up an hour earlier, and even if it's an hour a day, there is nothing like fully committed, focused time on these goals, right? So if you say, hey, every day between 7 a.m. and 9 a.m., before I start my day, whatever the time is, or 7, 9 at night, before I start my day, I'm not going to get distracted on my phone. I'm not going to check emails. I'm going to find a place and a time, and I am going to get this done. This is my micro goal of the week, and it's an hour a day. Again, it's really like Kaizen. The definition of Kaizen, right, is one micro step at a time, right? How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. How do you run a 1,000-mile race? One step at a time. How do you build an empire over 18 months? It's one micro goal and commitment at a time. Small daily actions that accumulate. Again, I know all of you don't have 8 hours a day you don't know what to do with. Maybe some of you do. That would be fantastic. But the rest of us, we have to cut the distractions, say no to the things that don't serve us, replace those with actions on your goals moving forward. Make sense? All right. The third one is why not anchor it to your identity, right? Anchor it to your identity. This step is really powerful because your identity drives behavior. And the cool part is, this is something I probably didn't realize till later in life. We could shift our identity at any time we want, right? At any time we want. You could say, I'm the kind of person today, now, I don't care about the past, I'm the kind of person that does what? I say what I mean, and I mean what I say. You know, I think I shared this a little bit during the event, so I'm sorry if I'm redundant. But one of the biggest things I've always told my kids is when they promise me something, I'm like, hey, don't promise me you're going to make your bed every day or get straight A's. If you say it out loud, you're promising yourself. And the worst person you can let down is you. If you say to yourself, I am starting that diet Monday, for gosh sakes, I've been thinking about it forever, and you go 200 Mondays and you don't do it, do you believe your own BS anymore? No, you said you're going to build that business. You won't. You said you're going to start eating better and get healthier. You won't, right? But that could have been the old. I've done it. Do you know? There's a couple things. I've said I've been gonna meditate. Hey, Dave Williams, good to see you. I've been talking about meditating for like 3 years. I just want to put meditation in my life. I have friends who do TM meditation and others, and they love it. And I had to stop saying it, and I just said, hey, when you're ready, you'll do it. Because I didn't like that only part in my life when I kept saying I was gonna, and I didn't, because it felt against my identity. So I think we have the opportunity to change our identity immediately. Like, it's from this point forward, I am that person that says when I'm gonna do it, I just do it. If at first it doesn't succeed, I do it again. When people tell me I'm crazy, I actually get fuel from that. When people say you're nuts or it's the wrong industry, great. Hope you doubt me even more, right? We have the coolest opportunity to shift our identity in ways. I wrote a book called The Underdog Advantage. My my biggest book was 2 books ago, was The Millionaire Success Habits. It's well over 1 million copies. I wrote The Underdog Advantage. I wrote that fast. We never even did a big promotion. I wrote it really for me and want to share with my kids. And in there, what I talked about is this shift. The underdog, I feel the underdog's got the greatest opportunity ever because most people don't see you coming. Most people doubt you. And what if you see some of the most successful people in the world, weren't they the damn underdogs? Weren't they the ones that took minimal amount of resources and turned them into resourcefulness and thrived? If you think what you're dealing with is hard, go Google some successful people. I guarantee you'll find someone that aligns with your heart, that went through hell and back, but they found a way to use being an underdog as their advantage. So the only reason I brought the book up is because there was a time I remember not only not coming from money and had dyslexia and didn't go to college and everybody in my family was blue collar. I can remember all that, and I can remember starting in this industry, and I've told some of those stories so I won't be redundant, but I started getting momentum. And I remember when my Uncle Larry said, hey, you need a college degree to this, you need millions of dollars. I remember him saying, you need to trademark your idea and you need an official business plan. I didn't know any of this stuff he was talking about. I'm like, I just want to share what I know, help people go faster. Overwhelmed me with all this stuff, and I started doubting myself. And I remember, I should say this, when I wrote the book, I don't remember the exact time it was, but I can remember a time when people's words on the outside affected me in a negative way. Maybe they're right. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I didn't go to college. I have ADD. I have dyslexia. You know, everybody in my family, no one's ever made over 40 grand a year. What the hell am I? I can remember it affecting me. But there was this switch, and I thank God, the universe, because I can't say I did this system, but there was something that switched, and there was a time that whenever anybody said that, it turned into fuel. Like, and what I remember thinking is, it's still the same crap. I still am that same guy. I still didn't go to college. I still didn't do those things. But now their words, instead of being an anchor, were the wind behind my sail. It's like, oh, really? You're going to doubt me? And I would never say anything out loud. I'm like, I know, I get it. It's probably not that easy. And in my head, I'm like, oh, this is going to stink so bad when I absolutely crush it. This is going to hurt in the invisible for you so bad because you doubted me. Cool. And it's still to that day, that way to this day. When people say, hey, you know, I read Matthew McConaughey's book. I'm not saying, look at me. I'm just saying I read Matthew McConaughey's book. I'm like, man, the world needs more McConaughey. And I remember even telling my team, I'm going to try to cold call Matthew McConaughey and see if he wants to do a course and a live event together. And my team was like, that guy's probably got 3 agents, a lawyer. You can't get through Hollywood. This is not like our industry, Dean. You and Tony are great. You're the biggest in your world, but Hollywood's different. I can remember the team saying that. It was literally in the conference room over there, and I'm like, oh, thank God it's going to happen now. It's absolutely going to happen because you said I can't. And here's the thing. It doesn't make me better. I see you, Jonathan. Thank you for the big smile, man. But it's not to make me better. I just shifted the same thing that used to hold me back to the thing now as a fan. So we could shift. The reason I'm saying that is my identity wasn't always that. And then you get proof of concept. Every time they tell you no, and then you actually do it, you go, well, shit, they're wrong. They're wrong. And the reason they probably don't do it is because they listen to the wrong identity. They listen to the wrong behavior. They listen to the outside voices. Screw it. Let's be the crazy ones. Who's up for being the crazy ones? You know, one of my favorite lines I've been sharing forever, I probably heard it 30 years ago, is they don't make statues of critics. Think about that. They make statues of the crazy ones, the dreamers, the ones that did shit that no one else was willing to do. Right, Evelyn? Right? They don't make the statues of the person saying, I don't think you can do that. Right? It's like, no, you don't even know who those people are. And they probably left this earth unhappy. Right? So, for all of you, Jen Drummond, like I said, the one that's climbed the mountains, she had so much adversity. She did a Mastermind Original course this month. It's really big on identity. You guys will absolutely love it. When time allows, think of all the things inside Mastermind as Christmas presents. That at any time you need a little identity, you need a little power, you can go to an inner circle, you can go to a course, you can go to a training. They're there. Listen, it's built in a way that Tony and I wish we had it when we first started. Okay, so I guess one more piece of this. is I would love for you to have a little homework would be, if you're shifting your identity, I would just have you write down that you're the kind of person that does what, right? I'm the kind of person who, and you can fill it in, right? If you want to do it here, you can, but you could be, I'm the kind of person who prioritizes my future, my health, so I can show up to be the best version of myself, right? I'm the kind of person that's willing to learn a new skill. I'm the type of person that's willing to take uncomfortable action or accept a challenge, right? I'm the kind of person who takes one step forward, maybe one step back, but I keep moving forward. I'm the type of person that takes crazy, uncomfortable action, right? I don't know what it is, but please don't judge yourself from the past. You can create a new identity in any moment, at any time, and just decide to stick to it. And what I'd say is whatever you commit to, I'm the kind of person, oh God, they're coming in really quick. I love it. I'm the kind of person moving too quick, going forward to big success. I'm the kind of person who never gives up. I love it, Camilla. I'm the kind of person that consistently aligns with inherent soul values and does the hard work. That's what I'm talking about. I love the notion of creating my new identity. Great, Jen, then let's do it. I'm the kind of person that finds the way. That is so good. I'm the kind of person who finishes what she starts. I'm the kind of person that faces my fears. Ooh, doesn't it feel good just to even say it out loud? Doesn't it feel good to say, and listen, please know when I'm talking, I'm not like, I've had all this success. You have had so much success in your life. You've done so many incredible things. You've overcome so many obstacles. You've mastered certain areas of your life. This might just be a little new to you, and anything new feels a little uncomfortable. So what I'm trying to do today is just anchor you in to see what's possible when you're connected to something bigger than yourself. When we make these micro shifts in our lives, in our thinking, in our beliefs, in our values, in who we are. And when we do that, and we add in the right resources, then it doesn't become like a maze of not knowing what to do. You go, hey, I'm just gonna make one little step at a time. I'm gonna look in the rearview mirror and see my progress. And again, I get to be fortunate enough to, this is what I do for a living. I'm working today, for God's sakes. I get to hang out with you awesome people. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, man. I enjoyed talking to Rob during the event. Can't wait for his book to come out. So I love this. I'm the type of person that trusts myself. I'm the kind of person that's ready to succeed. I'm the kind of person that you can't stop. Aaron, boom. I trust myself. So good. So good. Now, we talked about this too. This is step 4, but I jumped ahead a little bit. And it really is just deciding when and where. So we talked about finding, as you could tell, we're just hanging out here. I don't follow much of order. When I'm in the flow, I just want to share what's on my heart, right? But I would decide on a time and then a location. So I'll give you an example. I have 4 children, but my 2 youngest are 2 and 5. And how blessed am I that my oldest is 18 and 16. I got 2 and 5. I get another shot at it. It's so beautiful and magical. But I cannot get creative work done at home right now. There is no place I could hide. Sometimes I go out in the garage. Sometimes I try to sneak into my bedroom. My kids either smell or know I'm there. All of a sudden I'll hear, Daddy's home. And I just can't, right? Sometimes when I want to be creative, I'm at my office. I come to the office every day. I love being in the office. I love being here with the team. But sometimes when I'm in the office, if I want to be in a creative space, I'll get, hey, Dean, you got a minute? Hey, Dean, I want to show you this project. Hey, Dean, what about this? Dean, what about this color, this thing, this? And I love interacting with my team. But do you ever notice when you're trying to get in creative mode, if you're disrupted like every 20 minutes, you really can't get into the flow? Anybody ever have that experience? So what I want to tell you is when I want to go in creative mode, I have about 3 different locations around Phoenix, coffee shop, lobby of a great hotel that's been around forever. There's never anybody there because it's an old hotel. It's next to a fireplace, even though the fireplace isn't on. It's the feeling. And I go there. I jam earbuds in so people don't think I'm rude and not talking to them. I get myself a hot green tea, I get a water, I get a couple snacks, and it's like a trigger. It's like, this is creative time. This is getting it going. So what I'd share with you guys is not only to schedule the time, your micro commitments that you're going to accomplish each day, each week, each month, but set a time that you're going to do it. Lobby of a hotel, they're my favorite, Mark. I've been going to lobbies of hotels for almost 30 years when I want to hide. And there's always a place. Sorry, I'm digressing here. A squirrel, right? A little ADD. But if you find the right hotel, like they'll come by and they'll ask you if you want water or food every once in a while. So you got somebody, and usually you can find a place to hide that's not like in the main where everybody walks in. There's always a cool couch. They always got Wi-Fi. They got a plug you could plug in. So I'm just saying, wherever that is, maybe you could do it at home. Maybe you don't have kids yet at home. Maybe you don't have to worry about it at an office. People leave you alone. But I would just say, find the place, right? Some of you, my creative space is outdoors. Donnie, I freaking love that. Find the place and set the time and go after your micro commitments because they build upon each other. Does that make sense? All right. Number 5, create accountability. So creating accountability is really your measurement and your deadline, right? That's accountability. But what more could you do to create accountability? We don't want to be the person that says we're going to do something and not, right? We all agreed on that. That's our new value system. If we say it, we mean it. If we're going to do it and we put it out there in the world, we have to do it. What's something that's more than just about you? Could you promise someone, find an accountability partner inside the mastermind world? Right? Could you talk to someone in your life? Is it a spouse or someone else who believes in you and supports you, and you tell them what you're going to do? Right? That you share your commitment and say, I'm going to come back to you in a week with the first ideation of my website. I'm going to come back to you in 3 weeks, and I'm going to show you how my course is laid out. Wherever you can find micro accountability, big accountability, I think it changes the game. Again, I want you to promise yourself and keep that accountability. Maybe just writing down in a journal, by this date, I'll have it done. Because all these micro things add up. You know, I remember when success was something I was dying to achieve. And I remember thinking, if I could just be around somebody really successful, they'll tell me the secret, right? Like they were going to open up this little box and go, is there nobody around? Oh! And there was like this magical thing to success. And then the older you get and the more success you have, you realize small hinges swing big doors. Success is all the micro commitments we make to ourselves. It's picking a goal. It's picking a time to get it done. It's taking uncomfortable action. It's asking for help. It's not listening to the self-doubt. It's not letting the friends that you love and care about who doubt you manipulate your mind. It is all these micro decisions that add up to go, hey, it's Tuesday at 4 o'clock. I'm at the lobby of a hotel. I'm logged in. I'm about ready to work with Gigi, and today I'm going to get this done. And it sometimes takes all the 5 or 10 or 7 little things, the micro commitments, to be there ready to work. Is that making sense? I hope that's making sense to you guys. So the clarity on one goal, if you want to bring these up. So the clarity on one goal, shrink the goal to daily actions, anchor it to identity. We could shift our identity at any time we want. Pre-decide when and where, and then create some kind of accountability where it's above you, it's more than you, and of course match that with a deadline, right? Now, a couple more things. Who's ready to make those micro commitments over the next 30 days, right? And I want to share a little something here with you, because if you're here today, you all have access to Gigi. Some of you might not even know how to maximize that. You all have access to these inner circles for years. You have access to our monthly trainings And those of you in the Mastermind business system, you have access to everything, every system you need to build, scale, launch. And again, you got to go about it in Kaizen, one step at a time. Again, if anybody needs to do an onboarding call, let's do it. mmonboarding.com will help you for sure with anything that you need. And plus, we're going to send out some additional resources to help you as well. But also, not only do you have access to the trainings, access to my Monday lives. Monday, you'll get an email. I hope you show up. Let me know when you show up in the chat in the Facebook group. It's fun. But also, you guys have Gigi. Now, what I really like about Gigi, I use ChatGPT all the time for generic stuff. I use other AI. If AI isn't a part of your daily routine, I hope it becomes a part of your daily routine. But what makes Gigi different is Gigi was trained to think like Tony and I. And I know you guys know that, but I just want to make sure you guys are utilizing and having fun with it. Because if you think of how much we loaded in, if you want to set a 30-day block on how to achieve things in 30 days, it's going to help you craft that in the way Tony and I would. If it's marketing to build something, if it's anything that you want to do, I'm going to try to get you in the habit of just going to use Gigi first. Go ask. When you think, how am I going to get this done? I want you to have something on your computer, on the back of your hand that goes, I bet you Gigi could help me. Raise your hand if you've used Gigi or you're having fun with it. And if you could put it in the chat what you're thinking, right? I asked Nathan, oh, thank you guys. Thank you, Rosemary. Thank you, Lon. Thank you, Gail. Yeah, it's unbelievable where things have gone. And she's only getting better and smarter. And all the feedback we're getting, because so many people are using it right now, we're growing and make her smarter every single day. So and there's lots of new features coming. I don't want to overpromise, but you're gonna freak out when you see what's coming. In fact, Nathan on our team, I asked him to film a 90-second video on setting up a 30-day routine using Gigi. Could we play that? Do we have that video? Yeah, let's play that. I'll be right back.
Hey there, I'm Nathan from the Mastermind team. I want to show you how you can keep the momentum going after this event by having a conversation with Gigi. It's completely normal to feel excited right now. I mean, Dean's a fantastic speaker and he provides a lot of value. But it's also okay if you're wondering if you're going to go back into old patterns once life gets busy. That's where Gigi comes in. She's here to help you stay consistent, stay grounded, and stay connected to the version of you that showed up today, ready for change. So I'm going to start a conversation with Gigi right now so you can see how easy it is to get clarity, structure, and support for your next 30 days. So say I'm a new member of Mastermind, like many of you might be. I would write something out like, hey Gigi, I just attended Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi's event, and now I'm part of Mastermind. I'm fired up. But I'm also scared I'll fall back into old habits and limiting beliefs that have held me back in the past. Can you help me create a 30-day plan to stay consistent, focused, and aligned with my full potential? I want to build daily habits that support my growth, stay mentally strong when doubt or fear creeps in, anchor into the version of me that I'm becoming, avoid slipping back into patterns that used to run my life. Help me map out a plan I can stick to, something simple, meaningful, and built for real life. Now let's see what Gigi creates. All right, so Gigi broke the next 30 days into 4 clear weeks. Each one has a focus, like building a strong foundation, growing my mindset, adjusting as I go, and then reflecting and integrating it all. She included simple habits like a morning gratitude practice, daily reflection, creative time, and even mindset tools like affirmations and limiting belief reframes. And I love this. She's also including mental strength strategies like visualization, mindfulness, and celebrating small wins, something important for all of us. This makes it feel totally doable, and even when life is busy. But let's say I want to go deeper on my why. I'm going to say something like, this is great, Gigi, but I want to go deeper on my why, so when the days get difficult, I still have something to fall back on. So now Gigi is helping me go deeper into what really drives me. She's walking me through how to identify my core values, define my purpose, and visualize what success really looks and feels like. She even gave me ideas for a vision board, a personal mantra I can use when I need strength, and a way to share my why with others for support. So this isn't just practical, it's also emotional too. She's helping me stay connected to my motivation and build something that lasts. And that's it. One simple conversation, and now I have a 30-day plan, mindset tools, and a deeper connection to why I started this in the first place. So you can see, Gigi is here whenever you need her. Just start the conversation.
That's so cool, isn't it, that you have access to that? Now, I asked Nathan to just do high level, but I want to tell you, last night, Nathan sent me that video last night, and then I went in on Gigi. And I was just having the time of my life last night. You know, I've been a part of it every step of the way, but last night I went in, and this is stuff I want to share with you that's fun. I went into Gigi last night, and I was like, okay, I get this, but you know what? I've been in a career my whole life, and my brain is telling me I should be happy with my career. And to be truthful, and that's what I'm saying to Gigi. I said, to be truthful, you know, I've come up with the good ideas, but I got passed over by promotions. I got passed over for the raises, and I think I've just become complacent. But I'm ready to break free from that. How do I go from a career mindset to being crazy enough and excited enough to be an entrepreneur? Man, she nailed it. Felt like Tony was talking to me on that one, right? And I just kept playing with all these different things. So each of you have your own unique circumstance. I would just say, please go have a conversation and ask. You can't believe what comes up. But then I said, hey, but Gigi, I want to create a course on how dads can be more connected with teenagers, because in today's world, there's so much craziness going on that I feel dads, and moms, of course, but I was talking about, I just said, I want dads, what are 7 coaching curriculums that I could do to help dads have a better relationship with their teenagers so they know their values, that they make the right decisions, that they don't get themselves in trouble, all that stuff. And man, she blew me away on how she laid that out, right? So you take this as far as you want. You want the success mindset, you want a 30-day plan, you want to lay out your course, but then I went all the way and said, when I went inside the Mastermind Business System, for those of you who have it, I said, let's build that course. And within 15 minutes, literally the course was built. And of course, there was places that I had to film videos and do all that stuff, but the framework, I'm telling you, the things that Tony and I 3 years ago would take months to do, you have at your fingertips. And remember what I said when we first started? When things get better sometimes, it's not just watching 6 videos, but who in here has ever bought a course where you watch the videos, but you actually didn't do anything? Raise your hand if you've ever got a training, a book, or a course where you watched it, but you didn't do anything. Well, that's not what we want. We're going to be here subtly nudging you, subtly pushing you forward to get you out of your mindset, but also give you the skills and the capabilities to move forward, to be here, to have 24 hours a day, 7-day-a-week support. Is it perfect? Hell no, but anything new can be scary. So I just want to encourage you to get in there. Hey, Robert, good to see you, man. I want to encourage you to get in there, to start playing with Gigi. Ask the questions. If you're feeling overwhelmed, you need help, whatever part you need. I get it, Samara. We're all there. So I hope, like I said, this is kind of a hybrid inner circle because we have so many new family members because of the event. So I wanted to teach and also welcome those that are new to the family. And I guess the thing that would bug me the most is if we let overwhelm come in and you're like, oh, I'll just go back to the life I had. Man, let us do everything in our power to not let that happen, because again, I get to see the future of the people who stay engaged, who take the uncomfortable action, to take the first step, the next step, and wow, anything is possible. So I got one last thing I want to do that is I've been doing this for 30 years, 28 years, ever since Tony Robbins taught it to me. And we can do it in about 6-7 minutes. We'll finish right on the hour here today. But I want to remind you, and Tony went deep on this on day 1 of the event, but we all have that old story, don't we? Don't we have that reason that it didn't work out before? The reason we get overwhelmed. I see you, Jonathan, right? I would love if you were really honest in the chat. What's a story that has made you miss opportunities already? You know, the simple ones. I'm too old, or I missed it. I'm not good with technology. My family thinks I'm nuts, right? Well, I would love if you were vulnerable enough. And the reason I say this is because so many times I meet people on the street and they go, Dean, I'm not like the rest of your students. My husband thinks I'm crazy to do this. I'm like, oh my God, we have about 20,000 people that think their spouses think they're crazy for doing this, right? We all have it. Look, I didn't have the money. I'm not good enough, right? I'm insecure. First off, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing this. I'm too broken. There's no way I can make this happen. I made up a story after my divorce. I get it. I'm too lazy. I failed before. Not enough time to do everything. I get distracted. You guys are freaking awesome, by the way. Not worthy, afraid of failing. I got stuck. I'm too tired. I'm not taken seriously. I'm overwhelmed, afraid of rejection, overthinking. You guys are amazing. Why would this work for me? Wow. Overwhelm. I'm afraid of jumping. I get distracted. My dad failed at his own business. Fear. Menopause makes me doubt myself. God, you guys are so freaking awesome for putting that in. Brian, sending you love, man. Imposter syndrome. Never took a chance before. And I just want you to know that that story may never go away, that it lives inside of you, that self-doubt. But what we have to do is find something stronger than that. We have to find something, not only a new story, but something that doesn't allow that to cost us what it's already cost us. Has that story already cost you opportunity? Raise your hand if the story you wrote has already cost you opportunity, has already made you miss out on things that you're like, damn it, why didn't I do that? So if we know that story doesn't serve us, isn't it terrible that it's on a repetitive loop in here? So I like to say this. You shared that story. On a scale of 1 to 10, how strong is that story in your life? Could you put it in there, that story of all the great things that you shared? Like, it is an 8. It holds me back, right? Look at the 9s, the 10s, the 7s, the 8s, the 10s. Look at how strong this story is. So those of you who are part of the family have heard me do this before, but it's something I love to do because it empowers me, so I'm going to do it with you. That story that's already cost you too much, that's held you back, that made you missed opportunities, it's heavy. It's a 7, it's an 8, it's a 10, 10, 10. Look at 6 10s in a row with 1 5 in the middle, right? But let me ask you this. Put that on pause for a second. Let's pretend it's the end of a long life. You're 100 years old, and you get the chance to meet your maker. And you sit down with your maker, and whatever your beliefs are, good to see you, Camilla Tatone. You sit down with your maker, and God plays you a video of the woman you could have been if that story didn't get in your way, or the man you could have been. And you see, oh my God, I was able to do that? Oh my God. I mean, how many people, you can't imagine how many people are up here and end up speaking on a stage with Tony and I, and all the things that could happen as byproducts of taking action. And you see that your kids admired you in a different way, that your grandchildren became different human beings because you took this action, that your retirement was different and you weren't worried about Social Security because you took care of yourself, that you helped your church, you gave money away, all these things you could have done. You see it, you'd be like, oh my God, I missed it. What would be your only wish if God showed you, your maker, whatever your beliefs are, showed you this is who you could have been if you overcame that story, if you created a new one? What would be your number one wish? Right? To go back, right? To go back. I wish I did it sooner, right? To go back. More time to go back, right? And what I like to think about is wish granted. Today we're here together. Today we can rewrite that story. Today we can decide not to let that thing be our crutch. Today we can decide that regret today weighs ounces. Regret at the end of your life weighs tons. So we can shift that story and say, no, that story doesn't serve me. I'm older, that means I'm wiser. I have more wisdom than the other people that are younger. I don't know technology. That means that when I learn it, I'm going to understand each piece of it better for people who take that for granted. Oh, there's too many people in my space, but there's none like me. They need my voice. I have dyslexia. It means I focus more. I have ADD. I can get more done than you can because you're focused on one thing. I can get 3 done at the same time. I got to ask you something. If you did have that opportunity and you got to the end of your life and saw a video of the man or woman you could have been, how heavy would that be on a scale of 1 to 10? Right? How heavy would that be on a scale of 1 to 10, right? 10, 12, hundreds, all 10s, right? 200, right? 12, 30, 10. So not to throw out all these numbers, but I want you to go back to that old story that you posted a few minutes ago. Is it really a 7, an 8, a 9, a 10? Compared to being at the end of your life and realizing you missed it? What is that original story now? that you're worried what your sister's going to think, that you feel a little bit outdated, right? That story's nothing, right? Zeros, twos, one, right? Look at, it's bullshit. Thank you, Melissa, for saying it like it is. A -3, Camilla, right? A two. It's ridiculous. Julie, thank you, right? I'm not, please no, guys. Some of this is the first time we got to hang out. I'm not trying to oversimplify success, but damn, can our brains overcomplicate it. Can we overcomplicate success? Right? We think we have to have everything lined up. So in just narrowing this down today, pick one goal. Overcome the constraints of that goal, one step at a time. Become a culture of progress, not perfection. Set some deadlines. Find some places and schedule some time to slowly move forward. Jump on with our team and understand it. Know that you are enough, that you know enough, that you have all the resources. You just got to be a little resourceful, and we're here to help you every step of the way. You have the opportunity to go back and watch years worth of Inner Circles. Do that instead of surfing. You can watch a course that drops Mastermind Originals. Every one of you have access to that. All of you have access to Gigi, and some of you in the most of you in the Mastermind business system, you have Gigi that's your partner to work with you, to build for you. She will build your site. She will build your landing page. She will write your emails. Takes a little time to learn it. It does. But a month of hard work, 3 months of hard work, could create decades of harmony and you living into who you're meant to be. I want to say thank you for being a part of this amazing family. Thank you for being a part of our first Inner Circle. You guys are amazing. The comments are incredible. If there's anything we can do to support you, let us know. We'll be back here next month. And lots of other surprises. Be on the lookout for emails because we do have some surprise trainings coming. Those of you going to the Mastermind World Summit, we have pre-event trainings, lots of stuff coming, so check your email. I want to say you're a part of an incredible family, an amazing community, and together, what can't we accomplish? Thank you, guys. See you soon.